talking today to Eryca Freemantle, who is a global beauty ambassador. Eryca, you're involved in doing work in Africa shortly. What has happened in terms of the global beauty brands moving into Africa?
That's such a wonderful question. Every day it changes. What I have found is that, let's use recently what's happened. In February of this year, you had MAC, part of the Estee Lauder group, moving to Nigeria, and they've spent $1 billion in Nigeria and West Africa because they know of the global spend that women of colour have, in particular Nigerian women. So what I have found is that now, because MAC are there legally, you're going to find the other major players come into the market too.
And L'Oreal is also made a move into the market. What are they doing?
Well, as far as I know, because L'Oreal obviously deal with hair as well, and makeup and cosmetic ranges. L'Oreal are coming. Obviously, everyone keeps their information to their chest. But I believe when L'Oreal come, they're going to be another major player in the market. They are actually in Kenya and in Ghana as well.
And what's the spend by black women on makeup, and why is this so phenomenally different from other people's spending?
Wow, that's so... The only way I can answer that question is by saying that we're vain,
Right.
first and foremost. And secondly, there are so many different shades of black women. There are over 60 different shades. So when you talk about black women, African women, women of colour, there are so many different hues. It's not just one tone. So that fits under the umbrella. Why? Because we like spending. If you walk through any Caribbean, whether it be African, locally in Nigeria, Ghana, in London, you'll see the most glamorous women and the most colourful women, whether it be in their clothes, whether it be their makeup, whether it be in their hair, are African women. And I think it stems back to our culture and to our roots.
And to what degree do the European and American beauty brands cater for black women?
Okay, now they're starting to open their eyes. The American brands have always had products for women of color because obviously the heritage in and the community in America is far more, the generations has been far more longer. Also the UK brands, they are here, don't get me wrong, but their marketing, especially the luxury brands, are not that great. So many women of color don't know the products actually exist, from Yves Saint Laurent to Lancome. They all do makeup foundations for women of colour.
And if you look at a country, say like Nigeria, are there local makeup brands?
There are some wonderful local makeup brands. There's Tara, there's Banke. These are top makeup artists that's actually created their own makeup line. But like Nigerians, if you don't know anything about Nigerians, they really do like brands outside of their own. But Tara and Banke, their products are quite phenomenal.
And is there any event which crystallises this newfound interest in cosmetics in Africa?
At the moment, there isn't any events on a major players level, but I feel that something should be done about that. I know there are pockets of little small events, but nothing for anybody of my ilk to even attend. So that's something that the market or independents can look at that particular market.
And in terms of, you're associated with a beauty show in Olympia.
I am, yes.
Here in the UK.
Yes.
And you ran a competition for Nigerian hairdressers. Tell us a little about that.
It was actually hairdressing and makeup, and that competition, really, there is so much talent in Africa, not just Nigeria. But I concentrated on Nigeria because obviously they've got 170 million people. But what I found is that there's so much talent, there's so much creativity in Nigeria, but there's no mainstream platform to recognize that. So I decided this year to do a competition for makeup artists in Nigeria and see what response I would get. So it was a pilot. Lo and behold, it was so phenomenal and the response was so huge.
How many people?
We had over 300,000 people apply.
300,000?
Apply for the competition, and we had 4 winners.
That's the population of a small country.
It is, but Nigeria's 170 million, so it's still a small population. So we've decided to open it up this year, or should I say next year, 2014, for the whole of Africa. It was a pilot that went very well, so next year, look out.
And what kinds of people were applying?
These are all mostly what we found self-taught makeup artists. So again, there's the educational aspect to look at. There's scope there for training schools to go into the market. We found people that had never picked up a brush before, that felt that they're champions and they deserve to be in that space. They applied. We had men, we had youngsters. Even though we said the age limit was 18, we had people of 14 and 15. They are very ambitious, they're very wanting, they're very much believe in their own capabilities, and that's what we need in the industry.